Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. If you're returning, how you doing? Grab your coffee, maybe a seltzer, and definitely a snack. You're gonna need it. Possibly an espresso. Chocolate covered espresso beans. Those are my favorite. You get the double bang for your buck with those. Anyway, we have something very important to discuss, okay? And this comes from Homeland Security, okay? And I know this to be true. Okay, so today, Secretary of Homeland Security Alejandro Mayorkas issued a National Terrorism Advisory System, the NTAS Bulletin, regarding the continued heightened threat environment across the United States. All right, and this is the sixth NTAS Bulletin issued by the Department of Homeland Security, or DHS, as we all know it to be as well, since January of 2021. And it replaces the current bulletin that was set to expire at 2 p.m., okay, yesterday. Now, as recent acts of violence in communities across the country have so tragically demonstrated, the nation remains in a heightened threat environment, okay? And we expect that the environment will become more dynamic in the coming months. Now, when they say something like that, I'm guessing it's because they know what's going to happen because of the supply chain crisis, food shortages, things of that nature. All right. Now, the Department of Homeland Security remains steadfast in our commitment to provide timely information and resources to the American public and our partners across every level of government, in law enforcement, and in the private sector. This includes regular engagements with stakeholders to maintain awareness about the threat environment, training, and online resources to help communities stay safe, increased sharing of information with law enforcement partners, and millions of dollars in grant funding opportunities for communities and organizations to enhance security and advance prevention efforts. In the coming months, DHS expects the threat environment to become more dynamic as several high-profile events could be exploited to justify acts of violence against a range of possible targets. They do explain what these possible targets are, and they say that it's public gatherings, so like concerts. Okay, let's not forget what happened in Las Vegas. All right, let's not forget what happened in Orlando, okay, just a few short years ago. Let's not forget any of the, tragic events that have ever happened in this country, okay? Faith-based institutions, so churches, all right? Schools, racial, ethnic, and religious minorities, government facilities and personnel, U.S. critical infrastructure, the media, and perceived ideological opponents. Okay, so, but this does not rule out what we've been seeing and what we've been hearing here, just like with my one subscriber, okay, who I hold very dear and near to my heart, okay, when she wrote in and she said, that her and her friend were attacked in the parking lot and her car was stolen. And yes, I did hear back from her. Her car was found and it was set on fire. She's okay, but, this is the second time she's been attacked in a parking lot of a grocery store. The first time she was alone. The second time, because I keep reiterating, please don't go by yourself, don't go by yourself. And yet she did not go by herself, but yet she was still attacked. So these things are going to keep happening, okay? And we have to be so aware, okay? We have to be, all right? So it goes on to say, threat actors have recently mobilized to violence due to factors such as personal grievances. So and what that means is desperate times, desperate measures, desperate people. Okay. reactions to current events, right? And adherence to violent extremist ideologies, including racially or ethnically motivated or anti-government, anti-authority violent extremism, foreign adversaries, including terrorist organizations, and nation-state adversaries, also remain intent on exploiting the threat environment to promote or inspire violence, sow discord, or undermine U.S. democratic institutions. All right, well, listen, regardless of what side of the fence you're on, I don't know anyone in my personal life, not even in my community, that condones this type of behavior. Okay, so, I don't know anyone, and I don't think you do either. So it says DHS continues to assess that the primary threat of mass casualty violence in the United States stems from lone offenders and small group motivated by a range of ideological beliefs and or personal grievances. DHS works with partners across every level of government, in the private sector, and in local communities to keep Americans safe, including through the following resources and support. So there's a whole list, okay? It says DHS and the FBI continue to share timely and actionable information and intelligence with the broadest audience possible. This includes sharing information and intelligence with partners across every level of government and in the private sector. DHS conducts recurring threat briefings with private sector and state, local, tribal, territorial, and campus partners, including to inform security planning efforts. DHS remains committed to working with partners to identify and prevent all forms of terrorism and targeted violence, and to support law enforcement efforts to keep communities safe. Absolutely. We need to keep our law enforcement officers safe at all times, okay? As you all know, that we are a law enforcement and a military family here. And that is something that I greatly support. Okay, so I don't want any police officer or first responder, fireman, EMT, my husband, of course, my son, to ever be hurt in any way, shape, or form. I know that we have many first responders, police officers in our community here. One that I have gotten very close to, that I refer to her as Sarge, and her husband. Okay, they live here in Florida. I don't ever want any of them to ever get harmed. I would not be able to sleep at night knowing that. Okay, so I will leave links in the description box below regarding all of this. Okay, so onto this. Okay, there has been the declaration, okay, I spoke of this, okay, the Declaration of National Emergency for Clean Energy Production invokes the Defense Production Act to facilitate faster transformation of energy economy away from fossil fuels. Oh, boy. I know. So, Potato is working toward the agenda with Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders and Wall Street multinationals and the radical climate change activist within the far left of the Socialist Democratic Party, and declared a national emergency, okay, around the issue of U.S. energy prices and policies, okay. Now, on the front side of the justification, if you will, the people in control of the Potato administration claim that the current and future increases in energy prices are likely to do severe damage to the economy and the lives of all Americans. However, in the background of this issue, this is the never let a crisis go to waste phase of an energy crisis the administration has intentionally created. You know it, I know it, okay? And the real goal here is to fundamentally transform the foundation of the U.S. economy away from fossil fuels and into a new era of clean, renewable energy. And this is what all of the potato cabinet officers now refer to as the economic transition phase. So potato's executive announcement is the triggering of increased federal government control over the United States energy system. Okay. Now, ideological government intervention, completely disconnected from the free market, is facilitated by the declaration of a federal national emergency. All right. So, like I said before, solar panels, heat pumps, equipment for making and using clean energy and generative fuels, critical power grid, blase squaze. Okay. So, that link will be in the description box below for all of you. Okay. So, onto this. In my earlier video, I spoke about someone from Delaware. Okay, well, she wrote back and she left some links. Okay, so she broke it down. She said, I want to share some of Delaware's bills that are being proposed. She said, we are trying to get things aligned because she wants to move. She wants to move here. Okay. She said, but in the meantime, I live 20 minutes from Potato. Lucky her. God. How do you do it? How do you do it being his neighbor? She said, anyway, things are heating up here in Delaware. Our Democratic-run legislation here in Delaware is preparing to pass some radical laws. I'm guessing the Creepy Joe gang are going to start pressing legislative agendas with his legislative friends right here in Delaware. They sure seem eager to help the agenda and narrative advance. Oh yeah, they want to advance so damn quickly that this suffering that the American people are going to do is disgusting. And they don't care. They don't give a shite about any of us, because it's not going to hurt them. So what the hell do they care, So she goes on to say, I do hope people start paying attention to any laws Delaware passes or tries to pass, because this is the agenda and what other states' future bills will look like too. The other week, Tucker Carlson said something like, Delaware is known for being the first to pass radical laws, and referred to Roe versus Wade. I tried to explain what I could with the bills I've chosen to share with you and to separate them sectionally by a line. I hope people wake up here in Delaware. Many here are under Joe's trance, and I'm not, and I don't understand it. Gas just hit $4.99, $9.10. Oh, okay. Grocery and everything else is raising in cost. Supplies and parts are more often taking much longer to find, especially auto parts. All right, well, if you need auto parts, get a hold of Dave for Consumer Car Care, and he'll get you what you need at his cost, okay? He'll send it to you. He don't care. Anyway, crime is at an all-time high. Yeah, you should here in Tampa. Ooh, Madonna me. When I tell you, you have no idea. All right? It's called don't even go outside at night. Don't. All right? Only a select few seem to be being prosecuted and sentenced. It's the least likely to be sentenced getting sentenced too, while others are released on unsecure bail to go out and commit more crimes. Yeah, same here. Same here. It's like if the crime isn't violent enough, they literally just go. Yeah, I don't know why. It's really strange. Yeah. So she says, how are folks still supporting Potato and Harris bumper stickers and singing praises of the administration? How are they not embarrassed at this point? I've asked myself that same question. Why wouldn't you scrape that shite off your car? Why would you even put a bumper sticker on your car? It's just, you just, unless you're in their head, you don't know what they're fucking thinking. You know what I mean? It's just like, seriously, I guess because we don't think like that, we'll never truly understand. You know what I'm saying? We'll never understand the way that they think. I guess it's like on the same level as they'll never understand that the way that we think, being of the prepared mind. You know what I mean? So she says there are groups of people fighting the good fight here in this little but bold Democratic doomed state. I refer to our Delaware swamp as Dirty Delaware. Oh, shut the front door. She said, I like my name to remain anonymous. Oh, sure, honey. Listen, your privacy is respected here, okay? And it's valued here. I would never speak your name if you didn't want me to. So thank you for all of that. So these links I will leave in the description box below for everyone, okay? So you can, read those, all right? So on to this, okay? Now, Lordy, look who's 40. I was 6 years ago. No kidding. So, all right. Now, gas, okay, has nearly reached an incredible $10 a gallon, okay? And New Yorkers, they're paying about like $5 a gallon for gas, all right? But in one California town, people are shelling out about $10 a gallon, okay? So, there's a place called Mendocino. I think I said that right. It's about 175 miles north of San Fran. $9.60 a gallon. Yeah. Imagine that. Imagine that. How just disgusting is that? I mean, what a smack to the damn face. So that link will be in the description box below, okay? So on to this, all right? So we have always spoken about modified weather, right? Well, now there's proof in the pudding, I guess you can say, okay? Because China has modified the weather to create clear skies for a political celebration study. Yeah, so that link is in the description box below. It's like, come on. How disgusting do you have to be? I mean, if you're going to do it for a damn good reason and not for just because there's a celebration. How stupid do you have to be? I mean, really. I mean, anyway. I'm going to show you something, okay? And this is a short little, 10-second video. And it's strawberries. A subscriber went to the store, and she's like, what is this? Are they sick? Look, it's gross. And then take a look at these bananas. She went to the store one day, bought bananas. The next day, rotted. Second day, she went to the store, bought bananas again. Next day, rotted. Look at them. And then a subscriber said the last time she went and bought egg powder was a couple of months ago. And she got the one that has the red and yellow picture that says cracked up on it. She paid $54 for 4 pounds, which is two 2-pound bags, right? She said she went and looked today, and now it's $99 for 4 pounds. Last month it was $89. She said you could still get eggs at the store, get a food dehydrator, and make your own egg powder by drying the eggs and putting it in a blender, or you can freeze dry them. She said she heard it's pretty good to do it too. She said, buckle up, this is going to be quite a ride. Yeah, it is. She said this is the price of egg powder on Amazon now. Yeah, I know. That's why I just do it myself. It's so much easier and so much cheaper. It's disgusting. I mean, what are these companies thinking? I'm just, asking for a friend. It's like, what? So on to this. Okay, so there's going to be another link, okay, in the description box below, like you guys know. Okay, so diesel prices, okay. they smashed another record on Friday with prices hitting around $5.58 a gallon. Okay, with NOAA, NOAA, predicting an above normal hurricane season. And it's not good news for crop production close to the Gulf Coast for already short diesel supplies. All right. So the start of the hurricane season is underway. You know this. It started on June 1st. And as of Friday, more than 10 million people in southern Florida and Cuba and the Bahamas were under a tropical storm warning for the weekend. So if you didn't see any videos, I suggest you go look for those videos. Okay. I mean, it's terrible. Miami was underwater. All right. So, we're in for a wild ride. We really are this hurricane season. I mean, Sean and I, we're stocking up pretty good. All right. So, diesel supplies, they're vulnerable right now due to how tight supplies are right now. And this year, they said that they're running very low on inventory, entering into the summertime, and any kind of impact on the refining capacity, it's really going to increase the chance of a shortage. Yeah. So it's going to get crazy. It really truly is. It's going to get a little crazy. So on to this. All right. Now, another prominent banking executive, John Waldron, he's from Goldman Sachs. I had spoke about Jamie Dimon the other day, but John Waldron, he's from Goldman Sachs, okay, and he's predicting another major economic doom in the very near future, okay. Now, Jamie Dimon said the same thing, but he referred to it as a economic hurricane, okay, that's about to make landfall. And yeah, he's so right. All right. Now, he jokingly said, using any weather analogies as Dimon did. Okay. Now, this Waldron guy from Goldman Sachs, he expressed similar fear about inflation, ever-changing monetary policy, and of course Russia's invasion. The latter being every Western influencer's favorite scapegoat for what is now unfolding. All right. He said this is among, if not the most, complex, dynamic environments he's ever seen in his entire career. And the confluence of the number of shocks to the system to him is unprecedented. So one of the harshest critics of the Federal Reserve in the banking world, which is this Goldman Sachs guy, says that he expects that there will be tougher economic times ahead than even the current inflation and shortage crisis that we are seeing and feeling. He said, no question about it, we are seeing a tougher capital markets environment. And concerning the merger market, Waldron says that he expects a slowing from the current resilient levels, that there's going to start to roll over because you see demand destruction. CEOs get a little less confident, and that's a reasonable expectation. But he said we're watching that carefully as a signal. So, it's not good, guys. It's really not good at all. I said it before and I'll say it again. This is going to be worse than the Great Depression. So before I go, okay, documents have been, there was a light shed on these documents, on a secret U.S. plan for apocalyptic scenarios. What scenarios could you possibly shed a light on? Zombies? Seriously. Dating back to the 1950s, preparations for nuclear war were revised after 9/11. Okay? And these newly disclosed documents have shed a crack of light on secret executive branch plans for apocalyptic scenarios like the aftermath of a nuclear attack, when the president may activate wartime powers for national security measures. Well, he's already enacting his powers now because of climate. So can you imagine? So several of these files provided to the New York Times show of the Bush era effort, partly focused on a law that permits the president to take over or shut down communications network in wartime. All right, and that suggests that the government may have developed or revised such an order in light of the explosive growth in the 1990s of the consumer internet. Okay, so, and that's so something that this sumbitch would do. He would shut the internet down. All right, I'm going to put these screenshots up so you guys can read this for yourself, because I'm not going to get into it. All right, I love you. I'll see you in the next one. You stay safe, you stay positive, you keep prepping. And as always,